Alright, let's continue styling sign up form. We stopped with labels. So after that, next thing that I want to do is to style checkbox, and actually I want to make it working. Before we do that, let's place button down below. I'm going to do that just making it block level element. So let's select button, right, sign up form, then button, assign to it display block. And also I think would be better if we create some space at the top of button. Let's do it using margin top with the value 8 pixels. Alright, let's go ahead and select checkbox, write sign up form, then input. Actually, in CSS we are able to select elements using attributes. For that we have to place here square brackets, then write inside it type, and in quotes insert checkbox. Alright, as you remember from project preview, we should have here different type of checkbox, which is actually more modern and beautiful. First thing that I'm going to do is to hide that default checkbox. For that, in CSS we have property called appearance, which actually already has 90% support in modern web browsers at this time. But despite this, let's use CSS vendor prefixes for Google Chrome and for Mozilla Firefox. For Google Chrome, we need to write WebKit appearance. In order to hide checkbox, let's assign to it value none. So in this case, checkbox is hidden, but it maintains its functionality. Let's duplicate this property twice, and instead of WebKit, write Moz for Mozilla Firefox. And for last one, let's just leave here appearance. Alright. In order to make element visible, I mean checkbox, we need to define width and height. Let's set width as 30 pixels. As for height, write 15 pixels. And also we need to set background color, let's say as EEE. So again, we no longer have here default checkbox, but its functionality is maintained. Alright, next I'm going to get rid of default outline using outline none. Then make element a little bit rounded using border radius with a value of 20 pixels. And create some space on the left and right sides, right margin, 0 on top and bottom, and 8 pixels on left and right sides. Last thing regarding checkbox is to create shadow, but in this case I'm not going to use usual shadow which we have been using so far. I want to create shadow inside checkbox element. So let's write box shadow, and as a first value, right here inset. So remember that this value creates inner shadow effect. Next we need to write regular values, write 0, 0, then 10 pixels, and as a color write RGBA 000.4. Alright, so with input for now we're done. Next I'm going to create a little circle which will be moving when we check checkbox. I will create that circle using before pseudo element. So we need to select again checkbox. Let's copy selector from here, then paste it and add before pseudo element. First of all, we need to define content property. Let's leave it empty. Then set width and height as 17 pixels. And change background color. Let's use here color AAA. Alright, so for now pseudo element is not visible because we need to take care of its position. I'm going to set its position as absolute. So you see, now element is visible. Let's make it rounded using border radius with the value of 50%. Actually, you see that element is not perfectly positioned. We need to move circle a little bit up and also on the left side. For that, let's define top position, assign to it -1 pixel, and left with the value -4 pixels. As you can see, our circle ended up at the top left corner of form container. It happens because it has position absolute and it's not working according to its parent element's position. So we need to define position of input element and set it as relative. Now you see that problem is fixed and circle is placed where we wanted it to be placed. Alright, last thing regarding before pseudo element is to create little shadow. Let's write box shadow with values 0, 2 pixels, 5 pixels, and color RGBA 000.4. Okay, actually checkbox with its circle is ready, they are styled, and now it's time to make them working. So when we check, we need to change background color of checkbox, and also I want to move circle on the right side. We need to define those styles when input is checked, so I'm going to use pseudo class called checked. At first let's change background color, select sign up form, then input with pseudo class checked, and then in square brackets write type checkbox. Let's change background color, use here CC683C. So when we click, then background is changing, and actually to make here smooth change, let's use transition, write background color, and duration 0.5 seconds. Alright, so with background we are done. Next, let's take care of moving circle. Let's copy that selector, paste and add before pseudo element. In order to move circle on the right side, we need to define its left position with the value 18 pixels. So you see that when we click element is moving, but again, in order to make this effect nicer, we need to use transition with the values left and 0.5 seconds. Alright, so you can see that now checkbox is working, and I hope you agree that it's really nice and modern looking. Okay, I think for now it's enough. Next we have to style button and also second part of form container, I mean header, and let's do it in the next lecture.